this, since it's a medication, it should be recognized as a medication. A doctor wrote that script for me. Same doctor that would write one for painkillers for me, painkillers or whatever else ails me that I need, high, drug, is okay. I could travel all over the world with it. Mm-hmm. But because it's a cannabis prescription, oh, no. Well, we believe it's a medication, but no, we don't really believe it. It's kind of like that. That's what they're trying to say. Or, well, we're let you have it legally, but yet you can't travel with it to another country.
See, now, yeah, that's insane to me, because I got in a fight with my prescribing clinic recently, about upping my prescription so that I had enough medication to fly to Cannabis with, because for a Brit having it as a prescription, I suppose Europe's different because of like the Shulgin, I can never pronounce the bloody thing, Shulgin agreement, I think it is, where we have like a reciprocity that each state recognizes a prescription authorized by another state within the larger territory. Granted, little old England kicked ourselves out and decided to extradite ourselves into the fucking North Sea, but we are still acknowledged under certain things. So with a letter from a Spanish consulate, I can fly through the airport with security with up to 30 grams in my little pots, and they can't do shit. They're going to let me go, and I get on the plane, I got my little pots, and I can get into Spain, and they can't stop me because I've got my travel letter and a consulate letter which says they've got to leave me alone. They have to assume the same protected rights that I would have as if I was in the UK. And it's crazy that in the States, because I mean, we don't have combustion. So if I smoke my prescription cannabis, they're saying that nullifies the prescription. So therefore I'm just smoking a street drug. But it means that as long as if I vape it, I can sit in my car and vape it and be as high as I want and drive all I want. But as soon as I smoke a blunt behind the wheel, I'm impaired and I could lose my license.
That goes back to who's writing these laws, who's educating who on the. I mean, It's like they're making up it's like they're making assumptions. Like, okay, I mean, that's pretty stupid. I mean, it's ridiculous.
It needs to be universal, like you say, because you should have that same protection. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to fly out to Spain, because again, they should honor it, or they would honor it in the kind of sense of there is a mechanism for them to, as they do with me as a Brit. Do you know what I mean? It's just, there is, like I said, the American federal government is so separate from its 50 island nations and their states' rights, and because of, I can't remember which amendment, it is of the Constitution, but because of that amendment, they have to respect that shit. And I think this whole Schedule 3, which is something I wanted to get your opinion on, I feel that's a shell game for them to put it all into one thing, and that's their mates in the FDA taking control of it, so they don't have to worry about THCA flower or HHC or THCP or HH.
I think that's a hornet's nest right there. It's going to be kicked over, plain and simple. That's what I'm going to say about that. I don't know.
I'm more Eddie Lepp. That's what I look at when I see this, is the people that can provide and should be supported, given tax breaks, celebrated in their community. A person that wants to give up part of their life, granted they're getting benefit from it too as well, but to then help others, that should be venerated. You should be given the same tax incentives and breaks as a church. You are a saint in your fucking community.
He was a church. And you said Eddie Lepp, correct? Is that what you said? Yeah. He was a church. And one thing as well. And every plant that up there, he had scripts for all them plants that when he got busted, he had scripts for all of them. He was helping people that didn't have the land. That didn't know how to grow. And they really screwed him over. 8 years in prison over this plant and everything. He's one of the guys who took me under the wing. I learned a lot from him, and I got to go to the farm there. I think it was during Jack Herrera's birthday party, actually. I know we're going to go off on a tangent, but I don't care.
Let's do it.
But it was at Jack Herrera's birthday party and all that, and go up there and all that. I'm excited because it was probably maybe the third time or so meeting Jack, but it's always during high times and this and that, and he was so busy. So this is actually a time to be able to meet him and everything. So it was cool being able to come up there and all that. And at the end, they're all like, "Here, we want to give you some clones." And of course, Brandon from Dying Breeds, the one that does Ego Clash, He's, I don't know, 16, 17 years old. He's in the truck. He grabs out a tray. He hands some to Eddie. Eddie looks at him, looks at him like, okay, make sure they're good. Hands them to me. And he goes, like, what are these? He goes, these are K2s. I'm like, oh, cool, thanks. I put them in there. And then he gets out another tray, hands them to Jack. Jack hands them to me. And I go, what are these, Jack? He goes, they're me. And I'm like, well, I know. I said, what do you mean they're you? And everybody starts laughing, and they're Jacks. You know, I'm like, the Jack Herrera is from Jack. So I got Jack from Jack, Trey of it and everything. I mean, but a lot of people know that Eddie, a lot of people came and sprouted from his farm. Unintended, sprouted from his farm. You know, Brandon, Shiloh. There's so many, and him. Besides people that they helped carry on the legacy that was done on that farm. A lot of strains now have been developed that are out there because of the strains that he did on that farm. Because he did, he came like me. He came over to Amsterdam and all that. Because back in the day, that's where, if you wanted good genetics, that's where you had to go. You had to go to Amsterdam. You had to go to Cincy, or you had to meet the breeder yourself and get his genetics. That's why I was blessed with Milo. God rest his soul, Milo, the original UK cheese, Big Buddha. He's always gift me seeds whenever I saw him and everything. So, I always loved growing his cheese and other things. And all. Same thing with Soma, with his lavender and all that. It's great, but still the energy has changed some. It's still great energy and all that when we get to it. And it's all because of the government and people stepping in where they don't know anything about this plant or the people that are represented in the plant, and where our projection for this plant, where we really want to see it to be and how it needs to go around.